Okay. Good evening, guys. Hope everyone are doing good. By the way, how are you? Thanks for joining back again. Can you confirm? Can you hear me well? Good evening. I marked it. I marked purposefully as everyone so that everyone can see their other chat, so that you feel enthusiasm. Yes. 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 Good evening, everyone. Fantastic. All right. So I have not shared my screen yet, right? Okay, so yeah, officially welcome back to my session again. Those who are new, so yesterday we started this session. Yesterday was about my introduction, right? Those who are new here, for them, I can say my name is Riaz and I have almost 14 years of experience, right? And I will be your AWS trainer. And of course, I am certified and working as an AWS consultant and solution architect. This is about me. Um, yeah. So yesterday, as promised, as I promised, I will be starting from basics, right? Do you remember, guys? Yesterday we discussed about how important the basics is. Yes. Hey, I'm watching your chat also. Okay. Be very interactive. I love to be. And also, I also said that this is completely informal sessions, right? Let's have a nice discussions, right? Okay. Let me share my screen. Ta-ta-ta. One second. Oh yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. All right. So guys, so let us start with client server architecture. So I can see that there are many experienced people here. There are many freshers. There are many non-IT guys. So guys, let us go with in the same boat. Okay. So I'm telling you again. So those who are experienced, so please bear with me. So those who are freshers, please concentrate. Right. Let us learn in funny way. Okay. So yeah. Guys, so let us take this offline questions later. First of all, let's concentrate on the topics. Later, definitely, I'll take your questions in the end of the class. Agree? Mutual understanding? Yes? Yes. Okay, so let us start with client server architecture. Client server architecture. So guys, what is client? What do you think? Yesterday I've asked this question, so I'll be asking this again. So what is client? What do you think? What is client? Someone says customer, right? Can you put your words? Can you put your words? What is client in general? What do you think about the client? End user, customer? Come on, right? You can chat anything except bad words. Okay, right? So here, yeah. So client, basically, guys, experience, guys, no problem. You can also share your answers here. So client is a person who gives business to company, who uses the services, end user. That's good. Data receiver and sender. Okay, good. Sends the request. That's good. So guys, here whatever you say is perfectly right. So let us see, guys, as we are in IT, side, software side. On the software side, let us see what is client and what is server, right? And after that we'll go to the client server architecture. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about what is client. So here. So what is client? So can you give me an example of the client in general? So let us take a best example that everyone uses. Guys, do you use browser? Can I say browser is a client? Yes. Can I say browser is a client? Everyone? Yes. Let's take this example. Browser is a client. So let's say here we have Google. So you open your browser and you type google.com. This is your browser. This is your browser. So this is your browser, and you open the browser, and from there you type google.com. Guys, I can say that this browser is client. And what this client is doing? Client is requesting for something. You're requesting what here? You're requesting google.com here. So the client always make request. So I can say that easily in single line answer, right? So I can say which request a resource. What is client? What is client, guys? The client is which request a resource. That resource can be anything. That resource can be anything. Okay, now you are requesting a resource called google.com. There should be someone on the other side who is providing you the google.com. Na? Who is the other guy? Who is the other side? Hmm? Who is the other guy on the other end? It's a server, right? So it's a server. So the client which always requests a resource, and the server is the guy who respond to that resource. If I ask, like if I say here, Nagarjuna, you're there. Nagarjuna, I'm requesting. Hello, Nagarjuna, you're there? And he will be responding to my request. So here I am asking, so that meaning I would be a client, and then Nagarjuna, who is responding to my request, he would be a server. So keep that in mind. Clients is the guy who always request, and server is the guy who always respond to that particular resource. Okay, so I would say here which respond to that resource. This is server. This guy is server here. This guy is server. Got that? So here, whatever you request here, guys, whatever you are requesting here, google.com, the other side guy is the one who is responding to that request, and that is called server. So in very, very simple language, if anyone asks you in interview or anyone, so you could say that, or if anyone asks you what is client, simply you said which request a resource. And what is server? Which respond to that particular resource. If you are requesting google.com, the server will respond with google.com. If you're requesting facebook.com, the server will respond to with facebook.com page, right? So here, all right. So this client and server will communicate with what? The client and server definitely should be inside the network or not? Guys, these two should be inside the network or not in order to both communicate with each other? Yes. So I would say here, your client and server should be inside the network. Then only they can communicate with each other. And even in simple words, client meaning, I would say the guy who is asking in one line, in one word answer. Client which always ask, and server which all server is giving back, asking and giving. This is the thing which is happening in the entire network, guys. Something in the network is asking and something in the network is giving. And whoever is asking in the network, you would be call it as client, and whoever is giving, that would call it as a server. Simple as that. Hey, can you name in network? Can you name few components that you know in the network? Can you name few components that you know? Okay, LAN, WAN, okay. What is there inside the network? Yes, switch, IP address, okay. Go ahead. Routers, printers, protocols, whatnot. You can list so many things in the network. Okay, let's say, for example, yeah, firewall, hubs, VPN, so many are there. Printer is there. Okay, now, if I ask you, example, if you take a printer, you can take any example. For example, I'll take printer. So printer can be called as a client or printer can be called as a server. Example. Hmm? You got your mind crossed. Why it is called a server? Client is, so printer is giving you the papers, right? And that's why you call it a server. and there is something, printer will always ask for something, right? So here I would say that there are network components that you can take printer, you can take hub, you can take switch, you can take firewall, you can take anything. I would say in the network, instead of calling it as a client, this particular component, instead of calling it as client, instead of calling it as a server, I would say in the client we have something called devices, right? We call it as device. Printer is a device, firewall is a device, hub is a device, switch it is device. And whoever is asking you that is a printer, is a client or server, we will just throw back to them saying that, hey, devices can be either a client or a server. And it's not necessary that printer always respond, and it's not necessary that hub will always ask for request or give to that request, right? The devices can be either client or a server. You can simply say this and leave, right? So I would say that in entire network there are devices, and devices can be either a client or devices can be either a server. And if anyone asks you what is client, what you say? The client is the guy who requests a resource. And who is the server? What is the server? Come on. What is server? Which respond to that particular request. Particular resource is called a server. Do you understand the bare minimum thing? What is client and what is server? Is it clear, CC? Is it clear till here? Super. Super. Okay. So here we have the network, and the network contains devices, and devices can be either a client or a server. Okay. Sir, I understand what is client and I understand what is server. And what is this client server architecture? Right, guys, client will be somewhere, and server will be somewhere. How do we communicate with each other is the architecture. So there are mainly three types of architectures. What are those? There are three types of architectures. What are those, guys? Anyone knows? Three types of client server architectures. One tier, hmm, two tier, and three tier. One tier, two tier, and three tier. Let us talk about this one, two, three types of architectures. Guys, whatever we are discussing, keep that in mind, will be useful in the coming sessions, right? We are not just time passing that, okay, sir, what is talking about client and what is server? Definitely you should be knowing this, because you are going into AWS, which is completely imaginary stuff, right? If you, in order to troubleshoot, in order to resolve any problems, if you want to understand any requirement, you have to know the basic knowledge first. For a couple of days, for a few days, I'll be going on these very basic things, then we'll jump. You'll understand that surely. Let us take one tier architecture. Yeah, what is one tier architecture? The first one is one tier architecture. You only tell me whether this is used or not. Okay, one tier architecture meaning there will be a device. You know, devices will be in the network. That device itself will act as a client, and that itself will act as a server. We don't have a concept called the client which is connecting from outside. Let's say, for example, you have a website running over here inside. You have an application running over here. And guys, you want to give this application to your customers. And in this one tier architecture, no one from outside will able to access your application. No one, right? So because you don't have a concept called client who is connecting from outside. So your client will be inside. So wherever your client will be inside, and this server itself, this device will act as a server itself, right? So is there any use of this? Is there any use that no one is able to access your application from outside? In this kind of current scenario in our environment in IT industry, do you think that this kind of architecture is used? Yes or no? Strong? Yes, no, no. Because we want to give services to the customer. We want to give services to the customer. If you don't want to give services to the customer, that's fine. You can say that this would be your own laptop and you are developing something in your laptop. Hey, if you are developing in your laptop, can anyone can access from outside? No. Then what is the use? है ना? Right? So this one tier architecture is not there in the industry. It's not a best practice. So let us quickly jump into the two-tier architecture, what these guys are doing. Let's see. Two-tier architecture. So two-tier architecture. Okay, two-tier architecture. Let's say in two-tier architecture. Guys, in two-tier architecture, we have two layers. How many layers? Two layers. What are those? We call it as client layer and we call it as server layer. How many layers are there? Two layers. What are those? Client layer and server layer. Guys, what is client? What is the example that I gave about the client? Just now I gave the example. What was the example that we took it as client? Browser, right? Okay. So let's say you have an server here. Let's say you have a server here, right? You have a server here, and then this has your application. Whatever it can be a Google or it can be anything, guys. Any application. Maybe you might have developed your own application, guys. You can develop application na, in your own style. Where? Using your .NET, using your Java, right? You are all kind of Anaconda, Python, right? C Sharp, right? Whatnot. You can develop any application, right? Using these languages, this programming, this coding stuff. Yeah, let's say someone has developed your application and you have the client layer who is connecting from outside. One thing you should say here, do we really worried about the clients? Do you count number of clients who is connecting to your application? Do you worry about the clients? First of all, the browsers who is connecting? Yes or no? We have so many clients, those who are connecting here. So many clients, so many browsers those who are connecting, so many browsers. So many people are connecting to our application. Do we care about this? Do we care about this client layer? Yes or no? Hmm? Right? See, guys, here, see, we will develop the application and then we'll just put it on the internet. So everyone started connecting to this. Everyone started connecting to this application server. Everyone started connecting to this application. Everyone. Yes. Okay. Everyone started connecting to this. Okay, guys, see here. Okay, everyone are started connecting to the client layer. Okay, client layer, do we need to do anything on the client layer? Yes or no? No need, na? Yes or no, guys? No need, na? We no need to do anything on the client layer, right? So because people will start connecting everyone, so we don't really worry about the client layer. Let us talk more about the server layer. Guys, this is your physical server. Guys, this is your physical server. We have a physical server. What do you have here? We have operating system on the server or not? Yes, we have operating system. We have operating system here. Operating system. Okay. On top of operating system, you have an applications. Good. Let's say this server has 4 GB RAM, or you can take anything like, you have 2 CPUs, right? And you might have some 50 GB hard disk. This is the capacity of the server. Now, initially you thought there might be only 100 clients, those are connecting to your application. And that's the reason why you have kept 4 GB RAM and 2 CPUs and you have 50 GB hard disk. Guys, all of a sudden, this has become 1,000. All of a sudden, all of a sudden you got 1,000 clients. What will happen to the server? Bolo? What will happen to the server? Hmm. I'll write down your nice, good things that you said. What? Overload. Okay. Some people say it becomes slow. Some people say it will die. Some people say it is crash. Some people say it's bad performance. Right? Right? Some people, what do you say? Server can't bear or hang. Okay. All kind of nasty things that, right? That will happen. Okay. If in this case, the client will be happy or not? Definitely no. Definitely no. Okay, now this is one of the problem. Okay, let's say, guys, let's say you have an application. Does your application work without any database? Definitely you need to have a database or not, right? Definitely we need to have a database, right? Yeah, so we need to have a database. Can you tell me some sample database that you know? Some databases that you know? Right. So you have MS SQL Server, right? You have a MySQL, or you have Oracle, whatnot. You have so many. So what it does basically, this application server will connect to your database and it will work. Definitely yes. Definitely yes. Okay, now another problem here. See, this application guy will say to the operating system saying that, hey, AO operating system, I need here to work, I need 2 GB of your RAM. I need 2 GB RAM. Hey, who is the guy who is sharing the resources here? Your memory and all? Operating system only, right? Yeah. So application will say to the operating system, hey, yo, operating system, I need 2 GB of RAM. And database will see to the application will say that, hey, hello, I also need 2 GB RAM. I also need 2 GB. I'm a database. I'm heavily loaded. I'm heavily accessed. Right? Application need 2 GB RAM and database also need 2 GB RAM. So you have how much total? 4 GB RAM. What does the operating system will take care? And operating system will have to give only 1 GB RAM and then 1 GB RAM only to the database. If you have this kind of critical, there will be a fight happening in between this. There will be a fight that I need more resources and I need more resources. Application will fight and database will fight the operating system that you need more memory. Guys, if this fight is happening, who is the one who is affecting? Who is the most affected person here? If there is fight is happening here, who is the most affected person? Right? Okay. Okay. Vasura, very good. Dilip, very good. So client is the guy who is the most affected person. Because if there is any fight happening here, right? So definitely the client will face bad performance. Client will face, the application will become very slow. Application will become very slow, right? And then, guys, all the clients are directly connecting to the application server, right? Here, this server, is it secure or not? Secure or not? Okay, let us talk about it is whether secure or not. Let's see that. Or if you have that question in mind, let us talk about it. But here, now, you know what's the problem with this two-tier architecture? Do you recommend this kind of architecture for production environment? Hmm? Hmm? Everyone. Come on, there are 100 people are there. Come on, right? No, definitely big no, right? So a big no to big no for production environment. Those who don't know what is production environment, right? And Naveen, that's right. So no security here, right? And this would be where this would be nice for testing purpose. This would be nice for testing purpose, for development purpose, for dev purpose. But it's not good for production purpose, guys. Those who don't know what is production, what is development purpose. Let's say you are developing. Let's say, for example, Naveen, you are there. Naveen, you joined some company, right? And then you want to do some development, some testing. You have developed nice application. You want to test it. Does your manager will give how many servers that he will give to you? He will give you 2-3 servers to go and do all kind of testing, or he will give one server? Bolo. One server. So he will say, hey, Naveen, nice one. Naveen, I will give you one server. You put, so basically you put up your application there. You put your database there. You work everything. You put each and every component in that server. And if you are putting each and every component on the server will become heavy, loaded. Maybe for testing those your clients or customers, no one are accessing your testing environment. So for testing purpose, for development purpose, so maybe it is good, but it's not good for production, because the actual customers should not use this kind of architecture. So all in all, finally, will you say that, right, based on application, we need to check the server is full? Yeah. So Anil, can you say that, do you recommend this two-tier architecture in your actual environment? Okay. Is that clear then? You only said no. No, big no. Super. Okay, people are still joining. Okay, big no. Okay, so what we do is, as you said, no. Okay, no. I'm also saying that no, it's not good. Let us go with this. What is this three-tier architecture says? Okay, three-tier architecture. What does this three-tier architecture says? Guys, concentrate here. You clearly said that one-tier architecture, two-tier architecture. What is there in two-tier architecture? In two-tier architecture, we are putting everything in one server. Let's say in three-tier architecture, let's say how we design it. Guys, in three-tier architecture, you have 3 layers. What are those? Client layer. And next one is, we call it as application layer. And third one is database layer. Right? How many layers are there? 3 layers. What are those? Client layer, application layer, and database layer. And this also can be called as, guys, you might have heard this also, presentation layer. Presentation layer, and this is called business logic layer. Right? And this guy is called it as data layer. This can also be called like this. Okay, now this is good. So guys, in two-tier architecture, what we did, we put application and we put database on the same machine. But in three-tier architecture, what we do is you are segregating, you are separating this application layer and database layer. So it will be like this. So you have a separate server. You have a separate server here. Okay. And you have a separate server here, database server. And this is where you put your application. And this is where you put the database. And naturally, you have your all clients here connecting. Bear with me. Let me write clearly. Client. So we have so many clients coming there. Okay. Hold on. Let me clear this first. We have so many clients connecting to this here. Fantastic. Hey, as we discuss, do we need to, sorry, as we discuss, do we need to worry about the client layer? Do we need to worry about the client layer? No. Very good. Let us talk on the application side, guys. Application side. So by the way, here, guys. So by the way, this your application is developed in, as I said before, your application is developed in. It can be on your .NET. It can be your Java. It can be on your Python, etc. Right? And database can be anything. It can be your MS SQL server, or it can be anything here. So what client will, what it does here, clients will start connecting to your application server. Guys, see, all the clients are connecting to your application server, right? So here, and all the requests will go to the application server, and from the application server, it will go to your database server. Okay. Now what we did is here, we separated these two. Guys, what we did, we separated these two. Application server. This is called your application server. Hey, by the way, what is application server? This is application server, and this is your database server. What is application server in general? Hmm? Yes. What is application server? Guys, simple. Don't think much on this application server side. Application server meaning simple. If anyone, this is the most interview question, guys. Right. Application server meaning the server which has application hosted is called application server. You are putting the application here. Actually, your code will be here. Guys, your code will be here. Whatever the application that you have developed, your business logic, your code will be here in application server. If anyone asks you what is application server, you just put it like this. So I'll write it, see, application server. This is all interview questions. What is application server? You should say the server which has application hosted is called application server. Simple definition, guys. Remember KISS principle? Simple definition, right? And what is database server? Let us clear with all these things first. What is database server? Simple again. What is database server? Database server, the server which has the database installed. What is the database server here? I'll say this here. The server which has database installed, or the server which stores the data, is called database server. Guys, those who don't know about the database, yeah, just think that you put your, everyone knows about Excel sheet, right? So what do you do in Excel sheet? You create columns and you put rows, etc., right? So, and it is very difficult to handle this Excel sheet manually. So what you do is, many companies has created a software where you create tables there and you put all the data over there and you write some queries and get the data, right? So the server which holds the data is called database. Simple as that for now. Okay, good. So we know what is application server and know what is database server. And of course, you have operating system here, and you have operating system here, OS. Okay, now you tell me, this is OS and this is OS. Okay, guys, let's say this application server, again, I have 4 GB RAM, right? And this also database server has 4 GB RAM. Now you tell me, will there be any fight between your operating system and application in this scenario? Everyone? Hmm? Definitely no. Everyone, definitely no. Will there be any fight here in database on the database server? Definitely no. So if there is no fight happening, what is the end result do we get? Hmm? If there is no fight, what is the end result? You will have a good performance. Do you agree? Good performance. Do you agree? Excellent, guys. Excellent. Right? So you'll have a good performance. Already you got the first impression now that, oh, in this three-tier architecture, we have just heard the name called good performance. That meaning why we are keeping this application and database in different servers. So if you put this application in different application database in different servers, the result is better, as you said, Vasu. The result is better. The performance is great because there will be no fight, right? Excellent, guys. And now I just said this application server will connect to the database server, and database server will send data back to the application, and this guy will send back to your client. Now you tell me here, guys, how does these two machines communicate with each other? Hmm? Anyone? How does this, can I call this device? I just said that in entire network device we have devices. Okay, now if I ask you a question, devices communicate with each other in the network with devices communicate with IP address. What is that? IP address, guys. So what is IP address? IP address is, and of course it is internet protocol. It is a unique identifier for a device in the network. What is that? It's a unique identifier of a device in the network, right? So can you tell me, so we also have the unique name, right? Okay, names are unique, but your Aadhaar cards are unique, right? So in this, out of 100 students here, so if I ask, hey Chaitanya, there might be multiple Chaitanyas here, but if I call Aadhaar card number, right, Chaitanya, then he will respond exactly to me. So guys, here also in network, devices can communicate with each other with the IP address or with the host name. We have the names. We have, guys, in the network, we can call it as also hosts. What we call it as, the servers or devices can also be called it as hosts. Okay, let me write this for you so that you can. So here, devices and devices communicate with each other in the network with IP or host name. IP or host name. Very important, guys. IP or host name here, right? So if I ask you what is IP, I'll write that also here. See, what is IP? IP is an unique identifier. IP meaning it's an internet protocol. What is internet protocol? IP is a unique identifier for a device in the network. So how does the host, or how does the servers, and how does the client, basically any device in the network can communicate with each other using what? Using IP address, or you can use with the host name also. What is host name? What is host name? Name of the server. Name of the server. Name of the server is called host name here. Name of the server is called host name. Name of the server is called host name. Is it clear till here, everyone? Are you following? Yeah. See till here? Excellent. Good. Now we have learned here what is application server, and yeah, for newcomers. CC meaning crystal clear. Yeah, that meaning I will always acknowledge from you that whatever the concept we have learned, if you say CC, that meaning it is clear for you. Yeah, thanks for that. Who is that? Vamshi. Yeah. Okay. So we know what is application server, we know what is database server, we know what is network, we know what is IP address, we know what is host name, and how does this communicate with each other. That's good. That's good. Okay, now, guys, now the thing is, all the clients are directly connecting to your application server. Yes or no? Can you tell me what is there inside the application server? Your actual code. Whatever you developed, whatever your developers has developed, the code is present inside this application server, and you are directly exposing to the client. Now, if I ask you a question that, hey, this application server should be exposed to public or it should be private? Hmm? Everyone, it should be private. What is private meaning? If you put private, that does anyone from the public can connect to private? No. If they cannot connect, how does your application work then? Right? You are sure that, sir, this application server should be private. Hey, obviously your database should also be in private. No cans, right? Yeah. Now the question here is, right? Okay. So the question here is, this application server should not be exposed to public. But if it exposed to public, then only the clients will be able to connect. But you don't want to expose to public, you want to keep it private. So now, if I ask you, application server should be always in private or not? Definitely yes. Application server should be always in private network. But if it is in private network, how does the clients from public can connect to the private is the question, right? So for this, what we do is we will keep a server before this. We'll keep a server before this. What do we do is we'll keep a server before this. So here we'll keep a server before this here. You know what is that server? And that server, we call it as web server. What is that called, guys? Web server, right? So the web server, okay, now we have introduced a new concept here, web server. What is this web server? Guys, we for sure that application server should not be exposed to public, and that should be private. And whatever is in private cannot be connected from the public, that is for sure. And what we do is we will put a separate server in front of application server and we name it as web server. And you might ask, sir, then this web server should be public? Yes, I can say this web server should be public. Sir, but you can ask, sir, the web server doesn't contain code, Gada, right? The web server doesn't contain the code. Yes, web server doesn't contain the code. What it does is basically it takes the request, it takes the request and redirect to the application server. It will redirect to the application server, right? So what it does is it takes the request from the clients and then it will redirect to the, it will request will be redirect to the application server. So here what is, it is secure now because we have our code here in application server. This should not be public and we can make this web server private, and this web server can communicate to the application server using the IP address here, and we can expose this web server to the public, and this how we can make the entire environment secure. What is web server? Sangeeta, here, what is web server? That's what I said here. What is web server? I'll write that too here, see. Web server. Guys, web server meaning which takes the request and redirect to the application server is called web server. And yes, it will take every request because this is the one who is faced to the client. So this is the host name, this information will give to the client so that they can connect to the web server. This is just trailer, guys. We will be learning a lot in coming future, in coming classes. But for now, I can just give you a hint that web server, have you heard about Apache? Have you heard about HTTPD? Have you heard about Nginx? These are all web servers. These are all web servers. Tomcat. Tomcat will be here. Guys, Tomcat is an application server. Tomcat, IAS, all these are all application servers. Got that? Sangeeta, are you clear now? Guys, everyone, you understood? So now, sir, what is this, sir? Right? You said three-tier architecture. We were thinking that client layer, application layer, database layer. Now we got three-tier, and you have one more tier here. So what should this call as now? I would call it as this entire thing as entire architecture. So this entire so what we do is here, guys, all these things, because we don't care about this client side, and this is the one we will be architecting on the AWS side on our coming classes. So this guy is called entire architecture. Okay, now let me ask you a question, guys. Do you recommend this for production now? Big yes or no? Yes, everyone. See, yes, this is basically good for production environment. So good for production. Do you see that now? Right? So this is how we need to architect it. This is called architecture. So whenever we think about something application which we need to set it up, you have to set it up in this way. This is called three-tier architecture. Quickly, guys, what is client? What is client that we have learned? So client meaning which request a resource. And what is server? Server meaning which respond to that particular request. Okay, how many client server architectures are there? Three. So those are one tier, two tier, and three tier. Would you recommend one tier? No. One tier is dead. One tier is dead. Yes. How about two tier? How many layers are there in two tier? Two layers. What are those? Client layer and server layer. So in two tier architecture, we keep all the things, all the components in one server. Is that recommended? No. So would you recommend two tier architecture for production environment? No. Would you recommend two tier architecture for testing and development environments? For testing and development environment? Yes. So which is the architecture that you would propose for the actual production environment? Three tier. And how many layers are there in three tier? Three layers. What are those? Client layer, application layer, database layer. So in three tier architecture, all components are separated or not? Yes, all are separated. Definitely. Yes. So would you like to keep your application server public? No. So if you want to make this work perfectly, what is the component that you should be exposed to public? Which server? Excellent. What is web server? What is web server? Does the web server contain any code? No. Web server doesn't contain any code. It takes the request and just redirect to the application server. And who has the bloody code? Application server. Excellent. So application server has the code, right? Would you by any chance expose this database server to public? Definitely no. Do you understand how does the devices, how does the host communicate with each other in the network using IP address or host name? What is host name? What is host name? Name of the server is called host name. What is the server? Name of the server is called host name. Can IP address can be duplicated? No, IP address is always unique. Excellent. See, this is how you should be responding. This is how the class should be. Super interactive. Very nice. Guys, so if you are able to respond like this, like, if you learn like this, AWS, we kick like anything, like, after 45, 50 days, guys, I have a habit that every day I'll be asking this question so that you are also habituated and interview questions will be very simpler for you. As I'm also in interview panel, I know what to ask and it's very difficult to cross me, believe me. Okay, and also if you're able to answer like this, the certification questions will also be easy for you. Once we enter into the AWS, I'll be asking all these questions that will cover your certification questions. You can easily pass there. Excellent, guys. Excellent. See, now, now we have learned about 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier, which is good, which is bad, etc., etc., etc. But one interesting thing here, what we do on the client side is, guys, what we do on the client side is, we open the browser and we type http:// for example, google.com. On the browser, what we type? http:// google.com. Guys, don't worry. I'll be talking about what is HTTP, what is google.com, what is domain, etc., etc. Everything will be covered. Don't worry at all. Right? For now, just very well that what is how do you type the URL in the browser? It HTTP. Basically, we call it as protocol. We have a separate session also on the protocol. Don't worry on it. So guys, here you open the browser and you type google.com. And what you do? What do you expect? Within seconds, the Google page should be on the browser, on your page. Yes or no? This is what you expect. Yes, right? But have you ever thought, after you hit enter by after typing google.com, before the Google comes to your browser, to in front of your eyes, this fraction of seconds, do you anytime do you thought that what is happening in that particular fraction of second? Arey bhai, kaiku? No, sir. I open browser, I should get it immediately. Otherwise, me dash dash dash. Net is slow. That is slow. Internet is working. This that all kind of bullshit. But now you are accessing google.com, yeah. Maybe in coming days you will be one of the architect or you will be one of the employee, and customer is using your application. And if customer is using your application, let's say like Raghavendra, right? Raghavendra.com. He's typing Raghavendra.com from his browser, but Raghavendra.com page is not coming to that client. If you don't know what is happening in between your client and server, how do you troubleshoot your application in actual environment? Makes sense, right? Makes sense, right? So troubleshooting part is also very important, not learning. Learning is okay. Troubleshooting is also very important. But what we do is here now, guys, what is happening from this part? Guys, what is happening from this part, this part, this part? What is happening here? We will see that tomorrow, right? We will see that tomorrow. So I will take this interesting topic, like, how what is happening when you hit Google, when you type google.com and hit enter, before the Google comes on your browser, what is happening in that fraction of seconds. I will touch some networking concepts here so that funnily we'll learn networking concepts also here in this example. All right. Is it clear till here, everyone? Super CC? Excellent. Excellent. Right. Any questions? So what we do is tomorrow, okay, what extra activities the web server does? If it does only that, it basically it takes the request and it will send it. What we need to do, press okay. Parthasarathi, yeah, Parthasarathi. We will do some only configurations there, and we keep nothing there. It just redirect the request. Of course, it can do many things, right? It can do many things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Amita, guys. Those who are hey, I just wanted to tell you one thing here. We will see all kind of securities. We'll go one by one for sure. People are asking, sir, whom should you contact to register and all? Guys, you can contact Mr. Nagababu to go and register your course. Guys, if you register your course, your Linux class is also free. And then I don't want to miss the classes tomorrow, because tomorrow is an important topic, because these guys continuity will be the problem, right? So please continue the classes. Tomorrow is a very important topic, right? So I already heard that many people already registered, so please go ahead and register so that we can go and share our materials, right? So um, tomorrow we'll talk about these interesting topics. Yeah. Yes, definitely. We tomorrow you can join, right, guys? Like, you can just join. But don't worry here, sir. People are asking, sir, if you have only one application server, one database server, what happens? Guys, we have a coming concept called high availability concepts, where we can implement on this three-tier architecture. So basically, this is a basement. On top of it, we can make it secure, we can make it highly available, etc. We will be kicking all these things here. Don't worry. I don't leave any of the questions in your minds. Yep, excellent. Okay, so that is all. Can you give me a final CC for today? I love to be CC plus smile. Class timing, same timing, 6:30 to 7:45 or 8. Super CC, big CCs. Yeah. Excellent. Hey guys, that is all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Don't miss the class. You will have a continuity issues. Please go ahead and then let's meet tomorrow. Please be a part of my journey. We'll kick the AWS like anything. That is all for today, and see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day and good night.